Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are staging a bit of an intervention, or maybe let's call it a rescue mission.
A rescue mission is actually, yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it.
We are diving deep into the From Stuck to Sold masterclass material. And to set the stage, I want to throw a scenario at you that I think is going to feel uncomfortably familiar for a lot of people listening.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine someone who's watched every YouTube video on how to make money online. They've bought the courses, maybe 3 or 4 of them. They've got a notebook full of ideas. Drop shipping, AI, an Etsy store.
Oh, yeah.
They are working so hard, they are burned out, but they haven't made a single dollar.
It's the classic paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
We think failure comes from a lack of information. We think, if I just knew that one secret, I'd be set.
Right.
But the reality, and what this masterclass argues so well, is that most beginners fail because they have too much information. It's infobesity.
Infobesity.
Yeah.
I like that. It's not that the tank is empty, it's that you're trying to drive like 5 cars at once.
Right. And you end up moving none of them.
Yeah.
You're spinning your wheels in 5 different directions, creating a lot of smoke, but 0 forward motion.
So the mission for this deep dive is to look at the raw mechanics of going from absolute 0 to that first sale in 30 days. We're stripping away the noise.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to look at the from stuck to sold methodology, which, to be honest, was a huge relief for me to read because it just simplifies everything.
It moves you from playing business to actually building one.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires a massive psychological shift, which is where we have to start.
Mm-hmm.
Because before you can sell anything, you have to stop doing the things that are keeping you broke.
Let's unpack that.
Yep. This
This starts with what the course calls Module 0, the reset. And the core problem they identify isn't laziness. It's actually, they argue most people are working too hard, but on the wrong things.
They call it scattered direction. This is the enemy. The source material paints this picture of the beginner who's trying to launch 3 ideas, learn 5 new skills, and grow a social media following all at once.
It's a recipe for overwhelm.
It is. It's action faking, you know?
Yeah.
You feel busy, you're exhausted at the end of the day, but you haven't actually produced an asset that can pay you.
They break this down into 3 specific beginner mistakes. And I have to admit, reading this, I felt a little personally attacked by a couple of these.
I'm sure.
Mistake number 1 is trying to do everything.
Think of it like building bridges. I love this analogy they use. If you have a river to cross, that river is getting your first sale, and you spend your time building 5 different bridges.
1 for affiliate marketing, 1 for drop shipping.
Exactly. 1 for print on demand. But you only build each of them halfway. You never actually cross the river.
You just have 5 half-built bridges and 0 income.
Precisely. The course argues you need to build 1 bridge all the way across. Once that bridge is done and traffic is flowing, sure, go build another one.
Yeah.
But not until the first one holds weight.
That leads right into mistake number 2, chasing trends. And oh man, is this prevalent right now? Start an AI agency, do faceless YouTube.
It's the shiny object syndrome on steroids. The problem with trends is that they are distractions disguised as opportunities. And the source material is very, very firm on this. Trends don't build income.
Consistency does.
Consistency does it.
Yeah.
If you're jumping from the AI thing to the high-ticket thing every 3 weeks because you didn't become a millionaire in 20 days, you're never staying in one place long enough to get good at it. You're just perpetually a beginner.
Yeah, you're always at day 1 of a new trend rather than day 100 of a solid skill. But mistake number 3, this is the one that I think hurts the most. Aesthetics before income.
Ah, yes. The procrastination by design trap.
Totally. I mean, how many times have we heard of someone or been that someone who spends weeks picking a logo, choosing the perfect brand colors, agonizing over their Instagram bio?
And they don't even have a product yet.
Not at all.
It's so dangerous because it feels like work. You sit there in Canva for 6 hours picking the exact right shade of blue, and you tell yourself, I'm building my business. But the masterclass is brutal here. It says money does not come from looking professional. Money comes from solving problems. If you have a beautiful logo but no offer and no payment link, you don't have a business. You have a hobby.
A hobby with good graphic design.
Exactly. It's a harsh reality check. You can have the ugliest website in the world, but if you solve a painful problem, people will pay you.
So the reset demands a commitment. The source asks the listener to make a 30-day commitment. For the next month, you choose 1 lane, 1 offer, and 1 plan. You put the blinders on.
And that time frame is so crucial, right? You aren't deciding your entire life's career. You're not signing a blood oath.
Right.
You are just choosing a direction for 30 days. That lowers the stakes. It quiets that fear of, what if I pick the wrong thing? It doesn't matter. Just pick something for 30 days.
Okay, so we've reset our brains. We're ready to focus. Now we need the structure. The masterclass introduces the From Stuck to Sold framework. It's got 4 stages. But help me understand, why does the order matter so much?
Because you can't jump to the top rung of a ladder without hitting the bottom ones first. Stage 1 is anchor. This is clarity. It's simply choosing your direction.
And stopping the idea chasing.
It's stopping the random idea chasing.
Right.
Stage 2 is leverage. This is skill. You have to learn something that actually solves a problem. And notice, the focus here is on skill, not just gathering followers. Stage 3 is optimize. That's the money path. You need a way to get paid. And finally, stage 4 is win. That's the first sale.
And the source says the reason people stay stuck is they try to skip steps. They want the win without the anchor.
Exactly. Everyone wants to be at stage 4. They want the sales, the passive income, the viral tweets, but they try to get there without knowing what they're doing, the anchor, or having a skill to sell the partiers.
You can't optimize zero.
You can't. If you don't have a skill and a way to get paid, all the marketing in the world won't help you. It's like inviting people to a party at a house that hasn't been built yet.
So to get that anchor, the course forces you to pick a lane. And this is strictly defined. You can't pick 2, you have to pick 1 of 3. Let's break these down because I think this is where people get paralyzed.
It's a decision matrix designed to force you into action. Let's look at lane 1. This is the service lane. This is trading your time for money. You are doing a task for someone.
Like writing captions, organizing emails, that kind of thing.
Exactly. The pros. It's the fastest cash. You don't need an audience. You just need one person to say yes. You could literally make money today. You don't need a website. You don't need a funnel. You just need to be helpful.
What's the catch?
The catch is you have to talk to clients and you have to do the work. It's not passive. It is a job you created for yourself, but it validates you the fastest. If you need rent money in 30 days, this is your lane.
Okay, lane 2.
The affiliate lane. This is promoting someone else's product.
Yeah.
Share a link, they buy, you get a cut.
And the pros here are obvious, right? No product creation.
No product creation, no customer service, no refunds. You just focus on traffic. The cons, well, you're relying on someone else's offer. If they change their commission, you're out of luck. And this is the big one people forget. You usually need to create content to get eyes on that link.
So it's not the lazy way out people think it is.
Not at all. In fact, it requires better marketing skills because you don't own the product. You have to convince people to click a link for something you didn't even make.
And finally, lane 3, the one everyone dreams about.
The digital product lane. Creating template, a guide, a checklist. Pros. It's scalable. You make it once, you can sell it forever. It's the dream of passive income.
Making money while you sleep.
Right. The cons. It's a slower start. You have to do all the work up front before you make a dime. You might spend 20 hours on a guide and sell 0 copies. It's high upfront effort with delayed gratification.
I love the self-assessment they provide. It just cuts through the indecision. If you need money, fast Brahma service lane.
If you hate talking to clients, affiliate, or digital product,
If you like creating things, digital product.
it's really that simple. And remember the rule. Pick one for 30 days. If you pick the service lane and realize you hate clients, fine, switch next month. But for these 30 days, you are married to that lane. No dating around.
All right, so let's say I've picked my lane. I'm going with the service lane, want that fast cash. Now I need an offer. And this is where I usually get stuck. I think I can do everything. I can write, I can edit, I can do data entry.
But the masterclass warns against this. They have this concept called the power of one. This is a golden rule for beginners. If you try to sell general virtual assistants, you're a commodity.
You're competing with everyone.
Everyone. So your offer needs one person, one problem, one solution, one outcome, and one price.
Okay, give me a concrete example. How does that sound in practice?
Sure. Instead of, I help with social media, which is vague, the power of one forces you to say, I write 10 engaging captions, the solution for small business owners, the person who struggle with what to post, the problem. Delivered in 48 hours, the outcome, for $40, the price.
That is so specific. It feels actionable. If I'm a small business owner, I hear that and I think, yes, take my money. But you mentioned the price, $40. The source material is very specific about pricing, and it's lower than I expected.
It's counterintuitive, but brilliant.
Right.
In the beginning, you are not pricing to pay your rent. You are pricing for the sale. You are pricing to get a stranger to trust you. For a service, they suggest between $25 and $150. For a digital product, $7 to $47.
The goal is just to lower the barriers so much that saying yes is a no-brainer.
Exactly. You want momentum, not margin.
I saw that example of the $9 checklist, a 7-page checklist to help new creators set up their first digital product. It's $9. Is it even worth the effort for $9?
Absolutely, because if you try to sell a $500 course as your very first act online, with no reputation, no testimonials, you're going to hear crickets.
Right.
But a $9 checklist, that validates that you are someone worth paying. A customer who pays your $9 is infinitely more valuable than a follower who just likes your post. You're breaking that psychological barrier.
That makes total sense. You're buying the customer, essentially.
You're acquiring the relationship, exactly.
So we have a lane, we have a simple offer. Now, we need the roadmap. The masterclass lays out a very strict 30-day plan. Let's walk through what you should actually be doing each week.
Okay, let's break it down. Week 1 is foundation. This is just setting the stage. You clarify your offer with that power of one formula. And this is critical. You set up your payment link.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be shocked how many people start posting without a way to actually take money. They get a DM, I'm interested, and they panic because they don't have a Stripe or PayPal link ready.
Okay, so by the end of week 1, you know what you're selling and how to get paid. Straightforward. Week 2.
Week 2 is skill and samples. You aren't selling yet. You are proving you can do the work. If you're in the service lane, you create 3 to 5 samples.
Wait, how do you create samples if you don't have science? That's the classic chicken and egg problem.
You make them up. If you're a writer, write some sample emails for a fake brand. Or rewrite the emails of a brand you love. If you're a designer, make some sample graphics. You need a portfolio, not a client list. You need proof.
That's a great hack. Don't wait for permission to do the work. Which brings us to week 3.
Week 3 is the money path. Now, you put it out there. You set up your bio to clearly state what you do. You make an introduction post. You might offer a discount, maybe 50% off for a testimonial. You are turning the open sign on.
And finally, week 4, the scary part.
Week 4 is outreach. This is where most people freeze. The plan says you need to contact at least 15 people. You need to post about your offer 3 to 5 times. You have to actively go out and get that first yes. You aren't waiting for them to come to you.
And this is where the rejection fear kicks in, right? What if they say no?
They probably will say no. And that's okay. You only need one yes. And they offer a reality check here, which I think is so healthy. They ask, what does success look like? And the answer isn't, you made $1 million. They define success in this phase as making $50 to $300 and getting 1 testimonial.
That's it.
It's about momentum. It's about proving to yourself that this is real.
I love that. It takes the pressure off. You just need to sell a $40 caption package. It makes it feel possible.
Precisely. It turns a mountain into a molehill.
So let's fast forward. You did it. You followed the plan. You sent the DMs and ding, you got a sale. You are now officially in Module 5, stabilization.
My instinct here would be to say, okay, I did it. Now let's go bigger.
Let's launch a podcast. Let's create a course.
The source material says,
stop.
They yell, stop.
Yeah.
The biggest danger after the first sale is the pivot. You get that dopamine hit and your brain goes, okay, that was cool. I proved I could do it. Now what?
Now I want to try that other idea.
Right. And the source warns, do not change lanes. Do not start a new business. This is the time to double down.
Why is that urge so strong, though? Why do we want to quit right when we succeed?
Because discovery mode is fun. It's new. But consistency mode, which is what actually makes money, is, well, it's boring. It's repetitive. But the source makes a great point. Boredom is where the profit is.
So what should we be doing instead of chasing the next shiny object?
You need to turn that lucky break into a routine. They outline a weekly routine, and it's surprisingly manageable. Content, 3 posts a week. Outreach, 2 days a week, 5 conversations a day.
That's it, 10 conversations a week.
That's it. But think about the math. That's 40 conversations a month. If you are consistent with that, the sales will come. The problem is people do 50 in one day, get burned out, and then do 0 for the next month.
It's about preventing that boom and bust cycle.
Exactly. And what about pricing? The rule is not immediately. You don't double your price after 1 sale. You wait until you have 3 to 5 satisfied buyers. You need those testimonials. Then you raise it gradually. $25 becomes $35. Then $35 becomes $49. You earn the right to charge more.
It seems like the underlying theme of this whole phase is just consistency over intensity.
Exactly. Intensity makes for a good story. Consistency makes for a good bank account. Jumping from trend to trend is exciting, but it keeps you broke. Doing the same thing week after week, that builds an income.
So let's recap this whole journey. We start with the reset, realizing we're overwhelmed. We move through the framework, picking a single lane. We craft a simple power of one offer. We execute a 30-day plan, and now we're settling into a boring routine. Sounds simple, but simple is hard.
Simple is incredibly hard because it requires you to say no to everything else. It requires you to ignore the guy on Twitter shouting about making 10 grand a month with AI bots. It requires you to just do the work.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is this idea of stripping away the costume of business. We spend so much time playing dress up, the website, the logo, that we forget the core of the business is just solving a problem for a person.
That's the so what here. The enemy is the desire to look like a big business before you act like a small, helpful one. A small, helpful business makes money. A fake big business just burns time.
I want to leave our listener with a thought that really stuck with me from this material. It's a challenge, really. If you were forced to delete your website, your logo, your fancy Instagram bio, your brand name today, and you could only use your ability to solve a problem for one person, would you still have a business?
That is the ultimate question. Because if the answer is no, then you've been focusing on all the wrong things. If you have a skill that solves a problem, you could lose everything else and still make the sale.
That's the reality check. So, to everyone listening, stop building the bridge halfway. Pick your lane. You've got 30 days. Your day one starts now. Thanks for diving in with us.
See you next time.